Hi YouTube, welcome back. This is the final part of my favourites for 2015, makeup favourites that is, with a couple of perfumed items thrown in for good measure. Goodness knows when you will actually see any of these because I've been trying to upload part one for most of the afternoon with absolutely no success. It keeps cutting out, but anyway, I thought I'd just film this final part before the light completely faded. I've got a couple of products from brands not Chanel or Tom Ford in these favourites, which is amazing, although of course Chanel and Tom Ford feature. And I thought I'd look at cheek products first. One of my favourites in the latter part of the year was the Shupette blush from Shimmer, which I talked about quite recently, so I won't talk about it again. It's been in my recent favourites. I've been using it day in, day out, and you can see how much is left. I love the really cushiony texture of this cream blush, and I love how pigmented it is, but how easy it is to sheer out, unlike the Chanel cream blushes, although it feels like a very similar texture. So that's been a real favourite, so much so I've actually ordered in the other more coral colour, which is on sale at Space NK at the moment. So very good value, because it was quite pricey to begin with. And then the other great cream favourite I had in the summer was the Becca. I don't think these are the beach tints, they're the beach shimmer tints or something like that. I'll look it up and put it in the box below. But these are the kind of mixture of a traditional cream blush with a highlighter and give a really pretty flush. I use them a lot in the summer, although I have used this colour in the autumn as well. I had two. I think there are about 5 in the range. That's the other one I had. Really, really pretty. Use them a lot. Highly recommend them. What else in blushes? Are these blushes? Yeah. My Chanel favourites, always, the ordinary Joues Contraste. This is in Innocence, which I think was the fall collection. A nice, quite light, this one's the state, non-baked version, quite peachy and dewy. You can see that all these favourites this year are pretty much the same colour range. I use this one a lot and I like it very, very much. I will show at this stage one of my all-time favourites from Chanel, which is Plum Attraction in the permanent range. And I've had this one for about 3 years. I took it away to use over Christmas. Here it is with its little plastic container. You can see there looks to be still lots of product. But when I used it, I found that it isn't giving any colour payoff anymore. It just seems to have dried to nothing, just a hard lump. If you really dig your thumb in like that, you can see the colours coming off. I wondered if anyone else had had that experience with Chanel Joues Contraste. Maybe that's what happens when they age. This is my oldest one. I have used it a lot. There seems to be a lot of product yet left, but I can't use it, so not very pleased with that. It's still my favourite colour. And then a face product, the Les Beige in the Multi Glow, Healthy Glow, #1, which I bought in the summer. Really, really like it. I've used it a lot, but still going strong. Just altogether swirled makes a nice finishing powder or for touch-ups during the day. Or I do tend to keep this in my handbag, and if you kind of pick the colours, you can bump up your blush a little bit with that, bump up your contouring a little with that, and there's a bit of highlight there. They're not the most pigmented individual shades, so I wouldn't use them for kind of my first application, but they do for touch-ups conveniently in one palette. And, I just love the compact. It's so elegant. And I have to say hard wearing, because this is in my handbag all the time, loose. And it's doing very well in 6 months. The real star product from Chanel's highlighters this year was the holiday collection, the beautiful, beautiful Camelia de Plume. I haven't used it very much because I so love the engraving, but I mean, I am going to use it, and it's a beautiful mixture between gold and silver. Going to take that away and wear over New Year for sure. But I also loved the Tom Ford contouring cheek duo, which I didn't buy in the autumn. I was trying to save some money, having spent so much on nude dip, etc. Then regretted it ever afterwards, and got stroked on eBay eventually. Really nice, strong contour and a beautiful champagne highlight, really usefully together in the same palette. So I gave in the end, and actually I didn't pay very much over the odds, to be fair. I think I paid about £2 more than it would have cost me in the first place, so that wasn't too bad. And then another item from the Christmas collection from Guerlain, which I thought was a standout collection. My second pot of meteorites. I just love the packaging. This is a quite, just love the little puff with it. Quite a warm selection. To be honest, they all look very similar when you swirl them on as a finishing powder. I quite like the violety smell, and they do look really, really pretty on your vanity or your shelf, as well as being a nice finishing powder if you like a little bit of luster, which I do. So those were my favourite face products. I thought I'd just throw in a perfume. I love the Chanel Exclusifs. My favourite is 1932, but I haven't shown that because I actually bought that last year. This is one of several I bought this year, and my favourite of them, and it's Beige, which sounds not really very inspiring title for a perfume, although of course it's one of Chanel's classic colours. It's a really beautiful honeyed floral that I really, really like. So one of my favourite fragrances. You can see I've used a lot this year. And I also rather like Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I haven't bought the cologne yet. I'm not very impressed by the lasting power of the Jo Malone colognes these days. They used to be excellent, not so much these days. But the bath oils and the body products I still really, really like. They haven't brought out a bath oil yet, but I did buy the liquid soap, which is really heavily fragranced, and I'm enjoying that. And the body cream, I kind of mix it up a bit with the French lime blossom, and the two work together really well. You can see I've used a fair bit in the month since I bought this. It's a lovely sumptuous cream that really leaves a nice fragrance after the bath. So I think that's it for my makeup fragrance favourites of 2014. I have some resolutions that I will share with you, makeup resolutions that is, in the new year. I'm expecting my Tom Ford Lips and Boys and Lips purchases any day now, and a few other items to share with you, but I'm going on holiday tomorrow for a few days. I hope you all have a fabulous new year wherever you are, peaceful and healthy, and that 2015 brings us all beautiful things one way or another. Bye for now.